Alright, so what's going on, guys? Now, I was looking for different ideas on things I could do, and I was kind of looking back since, I've done 17 events this year, did a lot of seat time, things like that. I constantly see guys in forums and stuff, like, they'll post, be like, hey, like, how do I set this up? A lot of new guys looking to get into the platform. So, today we're going to go over some things real quick, just on how to essentially set your E46 up to drift. Going to keep it a little bit more budget oriented. Going to more so freestyle this. Obviously this is a little different than my normal vlog style thing, so I wrote down a few notes, but like, I don't want anything to be super structured. I kind of want to just send this off the top of the head and we'll go from there and kind of figure it all out. But yeah, no, this is definitely going to look to help out just the guys in the community, and hopefully even some of the older guys. You guys have been doing this for a while. Maybe you're gonna learn a little something new that you haven't really thought of before. So to start off, let's pop the hood, and we're gonna start into there with some key things to get your car ready to go. All right, so starting off, number one, right? These cars are, this is kind of gonna apply, the video is going to apply to E46 chassis mostly, although E36s also share just about most of the exact same things that I'm gonna cover here, so it's can be used for both. But right off the bat, right, this car's, she's getting old. This is an 03, but the E46 platform has been around, for 20 years. Like, things get old, it happens. So number one, we're gonna talk about maintenance. It's the less fun thing that you want to spend your money on, but it's also the thing that's going to allow you to stay on track the most. I did around 600 laps in this car this year without a single flaw. Like, I didn't have any mechanical failures. It was just incredible. 600 laps, 17 events. It's a lot of track time. So number one, I want you guys to focus on doing your ignition system. So under this cover is your coil packs and your spark plugs. So you want to use OEM coils. They're a bit more expensive, but they're exactly what you're going to want. They're the most dependable and they just work well. So OEM coils, get them on FCP Euro, then you get a lifetime warranty too. It's like, it's sick. And then spark plugs too. I run NGKs in my car. They work. I have had no complaints or misfires or anything of that nature, so I guess I'll kind of recommend that for you guys as well. And then the other really big maintenance item that you'll see so many guys with their E46s talk about, cooling system. So you guys are going to want to do an entire cooling system refresh if you can. All the hoses, your expansion tank, your radiator, water pump, thermostat, like, you want to get it all done. One of the big things with drift cars is staying cool. Especially while you're sideways, because your airflow is not as direct as when everything was engineered and what was for. So getting your cooling system in tip-top shape will be great. This car ran at around, it was like right around 190, 200 degrees all year. It was great. I mean, and I did some hot lapping and stuff. My oil got hot a few times, but for like the majority of everything, it stayed really good. So I was super happy with all that and very thankful for just how the car treated me this year and worked. But that's gonna do it for under the, power steering. Maybe not something I would tackle right away, but consider at least getting a sock. I still have to get a damn sock for my car because it's known to they spit out after drifting, but that's more of a minor thing. So let's hop to the rear end of the car and let's talk a little bit about what you need to do suspension wise to set up. Okay, so looking at my notes here, where are we? So if you guys aren't aware, the E46s have weak subframe mounting points in the rear end. So what's going to happen over time is your subframe is actually going to rip apart the chassis of the car. Not a good thing. We kind of want the chassis of the car to have metal that's all intact. So what companies came out with a long time ago is these welded reinforcement plates. So it's a bit like, it is a bit of a process, especially if you're not super familiar with wrenching on things. Once you get into it, it is very easy to do. It's just a little time consuming. But essentially you're going to want to take the rear subframe and drop it out of the car. Then you're going to want to sand and prep the surfaces on the chassis itself, and you're going to want to weld in the plates up above on the chassis. I did this on my car. I have some pictures I'm pretty sure saved somewhere. This was before I started doing this whole channel thing, so I'll have to find these pictures and throw them in the video for you guys. But so you're definitely going to want to put in the reinforcement plates. That's just going to keep your chassis in one piece and keep everything nice and happy. So while your 20-year-old subframe is out of the car, now's a great opportunity to put in new bushings. New bushings aren't crazy expensive, and they're going to make the car feel a whole lot better. So, you know, once again, those 20-year-old bushings are all going to be pretty worn out. So it's a perfect time while everything's out and apart to put in new bushings. I have IRPs in my car. There's a bunch of different brands. You can go Condor or whatever. If you're going to street the car or track the car, you're going to want to go with a harder poly or a solid mount, but that's up to you guys what you want to do, obviously. And then from there, obviously, the subframe's out. Now's your time to weld the diff. You're building a drift car. You know, you don't want to have the open differential. You want to weld it. Welded's going to be your cheapest way about it to keep the rear locks, everything spins at the same time. If you got LSD money, you got LSD money. I don't.
No money.
Or two-way, but yeah. I don't. So welded's the way to go. It's the main thing what most guys do in the community anyways. And then aside from that, you're going to throw some coilovers on all four corners. Just touched on that while we're here in the rear. Get something that has some dampening. It's a nice little feature. And yeah, that's actually it on the rear. So setup, suspension for, you know, your cheaper setup. Let's hop now. Oh, you could do some rear camber arms. Sorry, I forgot about that one. Put in some rear adjustable camber arms too. Will help you dial in your alignment. But yeah, now we can go hop and talk about the front stuff. So, front setup for your beginner car. Nothing. Literally just like finishing the 4 coilovers all around. No angle kit, none of that, right? We want to keep this super simple. Especially when you're learning, you're going to learn such a better technique of having to actually drive a low horsepower car too and have minimal angle to bail you out. Your driving is going to become so much better, I promise. So we literally just want to stick with coilovers. I have Godspeeds in my car, mono SS's. They're like 800 bucks. They've lasted this far. They have 16-way adjustable dampening, and they came with front camber plates. So like, I can't complain. They're good. I'm 100% happy with it. Another big community favorite are BCs. A little bit more money, but then just another option for you guys. But I definitely like these, and they're pink, so you know they're kind of cool, kind of rowdy. And then aside from that, we really want a good alignment. A good alignment is just going to change the car so drastically. When I first started drifting, I was really struggling kind of on how to even drive this car because it wasn't doing what I wanted because I had such a bad alignment. So basic stock alignment with just the stuff I've mentioned to you guys so far, plus the rear bits. Add to the rear list, adjustable toe brackets. Put another picture of those on the screen. Good thing to have. That'll help you out with this alignment. So up front, you're going to want to run, you can get negative 3.5 degrees if your coilovers have the adjustable top hats, or for the cambers. And then we're going to want to run around 6 degrees of caster and about 1/4 inch of toe out. Not the greatest for the road, but this is more focused for your drifting. And then looking into the rear, you kind of want to zero everything out as close to possible. I'm not able to do that. I'll show you. I was never able to max out or zero out my rear fully because of how low I run. So because of how low I run, I've always had to run a little bit of camber in the rear, so I run negative 2 degrees of camber, but you may not be this low, and so you might be able to zero it out. But ultimately, as far as like seat time and seat time cars go, having a fully zeroed out rear with 0 degrees of camber and 0 toe it's gonna make your tires last a lot longer and you'll get to do that many more laps. So if you guys can get the alignment done right around those specs. And then you can play with it from there too. If you want a little bit more or less of something, you can always adjust it. That's part of the fun of learning and tuning and building your own drift car. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about the interior. Now, if you guys had to guess one mod that you're actually going to want, what would it be? Because I hope I'm gonna tell you the answer, and it's gonna be a bucket seat. Having something to hold you in, like, you know, while this thing's getting flown around, you sliding all across the seat as you're trying to drive is a difficult thing. Having some steering wheels, especially in the E46, the stock ones, it's kind of bulky. It's not the most ideal thing in the world, but you don't need a separate wheel. You can do it all with the stock, but you can do it with the stock seats. I'm just giving my opinion on what you're really going to want and keep this as budget as possible. So in my car too, I have the Energy Prisma seats. They're actually really good and really comfortable. I've done, like I said, a lot of laps, and I've also streeted this car for long hour drives. I've done 3.5 hour drives at once in this car, in this bucket seat, and like it's got some damn good cushioning, and it's good. I'm actually really happy with it. So I went with this seat, and I've just got, you're gonna need a seat bracket. Depending how tall you are or whatnot, if you're gonna want sliders or hard mount it, that's up to you. You can figure that all out. But that is that's the route I went, and I would highly recommend getting a bucket seat. It's just gonna help you out so much more. One other thing I just thought about, get yourself a fire extinguisher. Even if you don't need it for your car, which obviously hopefully we never do, you know, you never need it for your car, but in the emergency where you're going to, you have one for yours, and you're gonna have it to also help anybody else out around you. We're all a community. Nobody wants to see each other's cars get burned down, you know, so like, getting to have it in your car, plus a lot of tracks actually require it, so you're gonna need to get one. But yeah guys, that's basically gonna do it. I'm aware this was a little different format than usual, you know. I like to stick to the more the vlog style, building cars, racing cars, all that type of stuff, as you guys have seen. But we're closing down here on the months of where I'm able to do that. And I'm almost done with college as is. So I'm going home in a week and a half. So it's time to start saving some more money, and gotta get out of here, and so then I can start affording to build some more cars and stuff. I've got some cool ideas and some plans in the works, so we're just gonna keep going for now and see where that all takes me. But I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys did enjoy, please drop a like, give me a comment, subscribe, check the IG, you know all the things. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.